ask you, Pat, when you were starting out with Empower Network, what was it like going from earning a little amount of money to gradually building up?
Oh, shit, that was awesome. And here's what happened to me. It didn't just happen. I didn't just, okay, I'm making $164 over a 3-month period and then go to making $12,000 a month. That's not how it happened. I was still under pain medication from the injuries, even 5-6 months out. And I'll never forget the day. It was March 21st, 2014. And for some, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say, I was struck by lightning or some miracle came down from heaven or anything. But it was just, I was sitting on in front of my son's nasty-ass trailer where we were staying. I had to stay in the back bedroom of this trailer. And my desk was literally my bed. I had my laptop on the bed, and this chair pulled up against the bed, and that was my desk. So, and I had a little mouse pad for my mouse, that was on our comforter. But March 21st of 2014, I realized what I had. I wasn't making a lot of money. At that point, let's say I'd made $164 from October to February. So now this is March. I'd made about $375, $380 by this point. So I knew it wasn't a scam. I knew Empower Network was not a scam because I'd actually transferred the money from my e-wallet account, which we don't use that anymore, but back then I'd actually transferred the money and it showed up in my bank account. It didn't disappear. It didn't, I didn't get a letter saying we're sorry that we can't send you the money, which is what I was expecting in the beginning. So I knew it wasn't a scam. March 21st, 2014, I realized what I had. I had a business that was mine. I'm a business owner. This is mine to run how I want, mine to market how I want, and it's up to me if I'm successful or not. Until I got that mindset to where I'm a business owner, this is not my hobby anymore. This is not something I'm going to try out. This is a real business. Hell, I might as well own a McDonald's because this is mine. And until I got to that point, and again, I don't know what happened. I just was sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette. Of course, as I tell everybody, I do not smoke. The cigarette smokes. I'm just the sucker on the other end. So I'm out there smoking. I'm thinking, what can I do differently to make this work? I mean, and I'm sitting there like this, switching the cigarette from left to right and thinking, and I couldn't even sleep at night because when I'd lay down to sleep, my mind's going 100 miles an hour with 20 different marketing ideas, and sometimes I'd get out of bed and sit there in my chair. My wife's over there asleep, and I'm sitting there with my laptop in my lap in the dark, writing something down before I forgot it and implementing it the next morning. But once I realized I'm a business owner, and I started treating this business like a business, as I say in my Inner Circle, I got an Inner Circle audio training back in the Inner Circle library in Empower Network. And as I say in that audio, that once I realized this was mine and it was my business, everything got easier for me. Before that day, before March 21st, I would listen to a training video back in Empower Network, and I would listen, and about 15 minutes into it, David, I swear to God, this is all I heard. Blah, 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 blah. But I would watch it because at the end of the day, I wanted to pat myself on the back and say, shit, I worked my ass off today. I listened to a whole training video that was like 2 hours long. I posted some videos. I mean, shit, I worked my business. But after March 21st, none of those training videos were blah, blah, blah. Because I realized then I broke my training up. Because now I'm thinking as a business owner, and what's the best way to implement marketing? What's the best strategy to get me through this training? And here's a big tidbit. This is a golden nugget. Anybody that's getting overwhelmed with training videos needs to listen to what I'm about to tell you. When you're listening to a training video, I don't give a damn if it's an Empower Network or something you bought or something you want to learn. You open that training video, and let's say it's an hour and 47 minutes long. Then you know it's going to take you 3 days and a half to listen to that training, because you want to break your training by 30 minutes. So you'll watch a training video for 30 minutes only. Now you're done for the day with that training video. That doesn't mean go on to another training video. Do one training video a day, 30 minutes. Shut it off. Tomorrow, open that same training video, take it to the 30-minute mark where you left off, and continue that training. What that does is, everybody knows sitcoms are 30 minutes because our attention span is 30 minutes long. After 30 minutes, you're going to hear blah, blah, blah too. Of course, me, after about 15 minutes, that means I don't have a long attention span. I'm a very hyper person. So I broke everything up by 30 minutes. I went through the top producer formula, and that shit's like 4 hours and something long. 30 minutes is what I did. Top team builder, that's like 11 videos, and each of them are 2-3 hours long. 30 minutes is all I did. And here's what happens. At the end of the 3 or 4 days, when you're done with that first video because you broke it up by 30 minutes, you remember almost everything that he said. You'll start marketing. Oh, yeah, I remember David Wood said on the first day I listened to the first 30 minutes, he said this and said that. You'll remember it. Look, I'm 51. My brain said about a year ago, said, screw it. I'm not remembering shit unless you write it down. That's what my brain told me. So you don't have to write it down if you're going to break it up into 30-minute increments. So do that, and I swear to God, your training will be so much easier. This is nothing nobody ever told me. This is stuff I had to figure out as a business owner. And everybody on this call right now is a business owner. And until you start looking at it that way, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. And as hard as it is to say, you're not going to be successful. You got to stop and say, I'm a business owner, not what this is going to cost me, but what it's going to make me. Because I get people on the phone, it pisses me off. Well, it's costing me $19 for my autoresponder. I'm $25 for this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on there, Moon Cricket. It's not what it's going to cost you. It's what it's going to make you as a business owner. That's the way you have to look at your business. Nobody in corporate America sits behind their desk saying, oh my God, what's our light bill going to be today for our company? Oh shit, what's the water bill going to be? Oh, we just ordered that. They don't do that. They look at the bottom line, their profit. They don't give a shit about everything else. They look at bottom line. That's what you need to do.
You know, Pat, what you're talking about is very interesting. Very interesting, because somebody in IT, I love working with computers. I love working them out, fixing them, getting all the parts together. When I actually get into it, I actually take a moment. If I take a moment to do something else, I'm wasting my time. But if somebody is paying me to do that, and I'm just working a 9-to-5 job, and it's not my work, I don't own any of it, I'm kind of just going through the motions and doing a little bit of work all the time. So when it's your own business, you're going to make sure that every bit of energy is going to be devoted to that actual activity. And that's what you're talking about with the training. So you're not just going through a whole lot of training and just skipping over it. You want to grab everything you can.
Yes, because here's what they'll do, David. They'll rush through it, and the only reason they're doing it is to make themselves feel better at the end of the day. Hey, I completed that training. Hell yeah, I'm the man. That's how I used to be. No, I wouldn't say I'm the man. I was still injured and, drugged up a little bit under the influence of drugs. But I would think, oh, wow, I did a good job today. I'm really proud of myself. I'm thinking this. I wasn't lazy today. I got through that whole training. That was like 3 hours. Oh, my God, I did a great job. It doesn't matter what you do. I didn't absorb any of it. I don't remember shit about it. I had to go back through everything I did a year and a half ago. I had to go back through that training with Empower in 30-minute increments, and now I remember, oh, yeah, okay, I remember him saying that from the last time, but I had to be in the video. So if you're going to just do it to make yourself feel better, well, more power to you. But if you want to absorb it, you're a business owner now. Like Dave said, I put out so many videos that I spent days on, but if it wasn't mine, if I was just working for a company doing a video, they'd have got the first cut. The first one I got done, and I had to do my video like 36 times before I got it exactly like I wanted it. But if it was for somebody else, some company, the first video would have been okay with me.
Yeah.
But you take a lot of pride when you're thinking and you know you're a business owner, and then that bullshit about, well, let me try this and see if it's going to work. Are you freaking kidding me? Look in the mirror and tell yourself if it's going to work or not. This is your business.
Yeah.
If people would just look at this as their business and stop looking at it as, this is my hobby, this is something I'm going to try out, let me see if it works. I got an email yesterday from a guy that says, okay, Pat, I'm going to give this 30 days and see how it does. I sent him an email back saying, don't waste your time, buddy. This is not for you. This is not for you. Get off my team.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 30 days. Are you full of shit? Give it 30 days.
Give it, that's another.
Give it a year. Give it 2 years. And here's another thing, people. And I'm sorry, I'm on a roll now. And now I'm ready to go.
Fire it up.
Well, people will look at this and say, okay, I'm going to give it that month or 2 months and see how I do. This is not about 1 month or 2 months. You're building something for the rest of your life, whether you're 30, 50, 80, it doesn't matter. For the rest of your life, this is what you're building. I'm making over $12,000. Well, actually, last month I made over $16,000, but that was the first time I did that. My average is 12, not counting the $16,000. I haven't averaged that. I add that to my average yet. But I make $12,000 a month because I'm a business owner. And do I not work now because I'm making 12? I work 2, 3, 4 days a week, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours a day. This is the most I've worked since Wednesday when I was on my webcast. So, but yeah, I still work every now and then. But everything I'm doing now, or everything I've done, is on autopilot. It's just on automation. Every 3 days I do go in and do my Craigslist ad, but that only takes me about 15 minutes to do all that, and I'm done. Think about your business like a business, not a hobby. Think of it as yours. It's up to you if you're successful or not. Don't blame David or me or Empower Network or the weather. Don't blame anybody but yourself if you're not successful. Sit your ass in your seat in your office and work your ass off for the next 6 months to a year, and you too could be at $10,000 to $12,000 a month. And name one company in corporate America that you can do that with. There's not one job you can start today and in a year from now be making $10,000 a month. You'll be lucky to get $1 raise from corporate America in a year. That's right. So put the effort, the time and effort that it takes now. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming Empower. Stop blaming everybody else for your failures. It's your fault that you're not successful. So now I'll shut up now.
No, that's fine, Pat. I mean, I agree with you 100%. You know, it's the excuse of saying I'm working so much but I'm producing no results because you're not actually seeing what you're doing as valuable. It's not your baby. You know, I'd imagine if you're raising your own kids, you're going to take all the time in the world to make sure you're doing it properly. You're not just going to be doing it, you know, just by following somebody's instructions. You're going to be doing it thoughtfully and thinking about what you're doing.
Absolutely. And here's another thing. It doesn't matter if you work your business 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours per day. It doesn't matter. As long as you're dedicated to your business, you come home from your full-time job and you don't start making excuses why you can't go in your office or to your computer or by the couch or wherever, or the kids are playing video games down the hall, they're too noisy, so I'm not going to work tonight. Don't make any excuses. Make a goal to say, okay, I'm working full-time. When I come home, I'm going to put 2 hours a night, 5 days a week into this business without fail. And that doesn't mean just sitting there like this for 2 hours. That means actually busting your ass for 2 hours, then turn the computer off. You've done your 2 hours for the day. It's your business. If you cheat, you're just cheating yourself. So it doesn't matter how many hours a day, because I know there's people out there right now thinking, well, that's great, Pat. You work full-time from home. You can do all that. Well, then make you a schedule. Put a schedule on your computer on Google Calendar that will alert you every day, okay, it's time to go to work. And then say, okay, today I'm going to do Craigslist. Tomorrow I'm going to do YouTube. The next day I'm going to do Facebook. The next day I'm going to learn the next day is my training day. I'm going to listen to a training video for 30 minutes. And then the other hour and a half I'm going to do this. Make you a schedule. And I'm not telling you to do anything that I haven't done. Everything I've said here tonight I've went through. Here was my mindset when I started in January and February, even in March, my mindset was this. Yeah, bullshit, $10,000 a month. They'd have been better off telling me $2,000. I'd have believed that. That's a bunch of crap. That's never going to happen. But I'm just doing this because I just need to make at least $1,000 a month just to survive until I can find something else or make it work a little better. I don't know. But it wasn't until after March 21st I got my mindset right that this is my business. And David, I'm telling you, my business took off. In April, $1,900. In May, $2,200. In June, $3,700. In July, $6,000. I can't stop it now. But I had to get my mindset right first. Once my mindset was a business owner, there was no stopping me after that. And now people look at me like I've always been successful. If they only knew. Yeah. If they only knew where I was and what I came from to where I am today.
I also imagine that when people actually work their business, they're not really putting in the time.
They're not.
You know, you may think, for instance, you're working at your computer for like hours on end, but if you really took the time to measure how much time you worked, you only worked for like maybe half an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you really want to work.
Here's why they do that. Here's why they do it, Dave. Their ego. They want to make themselves feel good. Yeah. They want to say, look, I said I was going to work 2 hours. By golly, I worked 2 hours. When in reality, maybe 20 minutes of that 2 hours was actually working. But they're going to walk away and go, good job, 2 hours. Don't lie to yourself. There's
employee mindset.
Yeah, it's an employee mindset. Don't lie to yourself. If you didn't work the 2 hours, you only worked 20 minutes, then say, okay, the next day I've got to really bust ass to catch up that time because I'll never get it back. This is my business. I'm cheating myself. So it's not about making yourself feel great. It's about results. It's about being able to take your kids to Walt Disney World without worrying about taking money off the phone bill or the light bill or the rent. Yeah. It's about, and I'll tell you what was great is my wife's sister, they live in the Philippines. And my wife's from the Philippines, but she had a store. Her sister had a little store in front of her house that was actually in her yard. Well, her house and her store burnt up and took the other 2 stores beside her with them. And let me tell you something that was great. And I don't say this for a pat on the back. I say this because when I was getting my start and I wanted to see success, I used to pray, dear Lord, please give me the strength, the courage, the ability, the knowledge to do this. And if you bless me with that, I promise you I will pay it forward. I'll help anybody that's willing to help themselves. I'll bless other people's lives. So now I'm keeping my promise to God. But it was so wonderful, Dave, to be able to tell my wife, sweetheart, don't worry about it. We just send $10,000 over there. 10,000 American dollars, which is a lot of money in the Philippines. That's a lot. So but we had to break it up into four payments so we could send it. You can't just send $10,000. Homeland Security wants to know why, So we broke it up into 4 over I think it was a 6-day period. We broke it into 4 payments, but within a week they had $10,000 that we were able to send so they could rebuild their store, their house, and then rebuild the other 2 houses that was taken with the fire. And that didn't take anything from us. It isn't like, okay, now we got to figure out how we're going to pay our rent. Okay, the car payment's coming due. How are we going to do that? We just sent all of our money to the Philippines. It wasn't like that at all. I had the money. Send it. Hell, I still got $12,000 sitting in the Power Network they haven't even sent to my account yet. Send it.
That's amazing.
I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. I'm just stating a fact, and I'm showing everybody here this is what's possible when you treat your business like a business and take action every day. And here's a really big thing is it's not going to happen overnight. In 2 weeks, you're not going to make $1,000 unless you already got a big team. So it's going to take 6 months to a year to make this happen. So put in the time that it takes, and next year at this time, you'll be on here telling us how to do it.
And you'll be thinking about how all those other people, why they were complaining, and realizing you were one of them complaining.
Absolutely, and I hear it all the time. I mean, that guy yesterday really pissed me off with that email, and it shouldn't because I've heard about all of it now. But okay, Pat, I'm going to he's doing me a favor. I'm going to give it 30 days and see if this works. If not, I'm going to have to bow out. That's how he put it. And
when people say that, get off my team. I just say I'd rather don't do it.
That's what I told him. Get off my team. Don't even do it. I'm sorry, Stephen. Man, Dave, you didn't tell me Steve talks so damn much. We can't cover it in edgewise. Go ahead, Steve. Take it over again.
What I was going to say, I hate those emails like when they say, I'll give it a week. How much money can I make within the 7-day trial? All that nonsense. I tell them, rather go to Amway or something.
Absolutely. Now, see, people can, if people have the money to put into for marketing, they can make some money in 7 days or 30 days. You know, if they're willing to go spend $1,000 for 1,000 clicks, yeah, that's going to be some fast results. And I didn't have that kind of money.
Most of the people are complaining about the get response fee, so it's not going to happen.
Right. Exactly. $15 a month, and they're bitching about it because they're looking at it as an expense and not how much it's going to make me. Exactly. As a business owner, everything you do, you have to think of it as not what it's going to cost you per month, but what it's going to make you per month. And maybe not the first month, but I'm making over $12,000 a month. That's not my business expenses. I mean, I pay $100 for the Inner Circle, $25 for the Kalatu, $20 for my affiliate. I mean, seriously, my overhead is so nil compared to what I make now.
Yeah.
I had an email today that was very interesting. It was the first email I got from somebody that gave me a real question. And the question was, what are my overheads? And they were looking at it from a business perspective.
Absolutely.
They weren't saying to me, how much can I make in a week? Or can I make my money back within that week?
See, that's a legitimate question. What's my overhead? And I would send it back saying 125 plus the 20. If you stay within Power Network in the beginning, it's going to be 145 with Inner Circle?
Depends if you get the premium or not, I think.
Well, yeah, the premium just came out, so that's another $72. So, or they can just go 97 plus the 100. Now it's $197. You're going to be your overhead plus your $15 for your get response. Yeah, so for $200 a month, you got the potential to make in the beginning, you know, $600, $700, $800 a month, and that's just working it part time.
Yeah,
you treat it like a business.
And then you get all in, and then you have that huge potential turning big commissions.
Okay, I did want to tell everybody else something too, and this is very important. As the camera switches from myself to David to Stephen, you'll notice that Dave has a name tag, and Stephen has a name tag, Stephen Pearson, and then Dave, and hell, I can't pronounce that last name.
Reinicke.
Notice when it comes to me, I don't have a name tag. And here's the reason. I memorize my name. I don't need a name tag. I know what my name is.
Everyone else.
So, there we go.
It's for everyone else who doesn't know us.
Hey, well, Pat, let me tell you something. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the hangout with us today, man. Thank you so much.
I got to apologize. I've been really riled the last couple of days. I mean, and when I say riled, full of energy. I've gotten so much done over the last 2 days. I've worked more hours in the last 2 days just because I showed you my new PPC video, which probably nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I've been working on that, and I've just been going 100 miles an hour. So it's time for me to slow down. I need to take some Tylenol PM and kind of slow down a little bit. But the last thought for everybody. Let me give everybody some goals real quick, because I know David's ready to go. His wife's got supper on the table, and he's got to go feed the lions. But here's your goals. Do not ever make your goals about money. I know we've spoke about money, and also, since we've talked about money, let me say, Empower Network goes over and beyond the income disclaimers. So my results are not typical, so go to empowernetwork.com/income. So to read the income disclaimer. But to make money, don't make your goals about money. Make them about opt-ins. And an opt-in is where somebody goes to your capture page, like I showed you earlier, where it says, hey, my Craigslist friend, fire your boss. If they put their email address in there and go to their go to your video. That's an opt-in. You want 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. And remember, this is your business. There is no cheating. That means on day 12, if you only get 3 opt-ins, you go back to day 1 and start over. Don't take any mulligans. You're not playing golf by yourself here. Get 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. When you've accomplished that goal, go for 10 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. Now people will say, okay, how do I go from 5 to 10? I don't know. You figure it out. You got to work harder. You got to do more marketing. You got to load more videos. You got to do more Craigslist ads. You got to buy some more Craigslist ads. You got to do more on Facebook. You got to go from 5 to 10 for the next 14 days. And when you get that, go to 15 for 14 days straight. And here's what happens. When you start getting those kind of opt-ins, and now you're at 25 and 30 opt-ins a day, and then 45 opt-ins a day, the money is automatic. You don't have to worry about the money because this is a numbers game. More people opt in, more people see your video, more people are going to join. It's going to be a conversion. So you don't have to ever worry about the money part. If you're going to make your goals about, okay, my goal is $3,000 a month. Well, good luck with that. Because you're going to be disappointed every time. And it's like a freaking mag truck crashes into your chest at the end of that month and you've only made $1,100. You're like, golly, I'm not even close to my goal. Make it about opt-ins, not about money. If you get 3 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight, guess what? Mentally, that does everything for you. It's like, well, shit, I didn't make it, but I was awful close. I only need 2 a day more to reach that goal. I'm real close. It's better than saying I want to make 3,000 and you only make 1,000. So make your goals about opt-ins.
I think that is the best advice you can give somebody because honestly, at the end of the day, I think all of us when we started to see real progress, it was a moment in our life when we didn't make it about money. And you know, I'm so grateful for you, Pat, honestly, because I think that's a real gem teaching people that, you know, go for the opt-ins first, make small progress. And as your opt-ins build and build and build, that's when you start to see opt-ins. Yeah, it's there.
I'm up to, my goal right now is 100 opt-ins a day because I already hit the 95 for 14 days straight.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 96, 97 on any given day. And I'm making over $12,000 a month. So what does that tell you? The opt-ins, making that your goal, the money's just automatic. I don't even think about the money. And I know people out there saying, yeah, bullshit, you're not in the situation I'm in, I need money. I understand that. But the best way to get money is forget about money. Make your goals about opt-ins. The money will just, your conversions and your sign-ups are just going to be automatic. Trust me on this. I've been through hell and back with this marketing crap.
But here's another thing that Pat doesn't, he's not really telling you, and that is that actually at the end of the day, Pat is about helping other people. You know, and that is the thing, you know, I know I've mentioned him, but Zig Ziglar said that if you want to get what you want, the only way you can do it is to help other people get what they want.
Absolutely.
And that is exactly what Pat does. So Pat is all about helping people, and if you just make that a part of your routine and interact with people, help them out, email them back, respond to people, you're going to start seeing those small results.
And let me say one more thing that hit my mind is people listening on this call, you're going to start working your business like a business owner. I know you will. For at least a week, I know everybody on this call is going to say, okay, he's right. I need to be a business owner. And here's what happens. You start working and you don't start seeing results. You start slowing down. Don't do that. Make every day your very first day at your business, every single day. And here's why. I had a guy, and I'm not going to name his name, but he went all in on January 7th of this year. And every time I get an all-in or a conversion, or I always go into my get response, and I want to know when he signed up, when he came on my list, and which way he came in. In other words, did he come in from Facebook, Craigslist? Which way how did I get this lead? So this guy goes all in. I didn't even know his name. I didn't remember his name as far as, he didn't just opt in because I'd have remembered that. I go back and get response. He went all in January 7th of 2015. I go back to get response I started this in this industry October 17th of 2013. He opted into my list from one of my first awful videos on December 13th of 2013. That's when this guy opted in. He goes all in January 7th of 2015. I get him on the phone, and because I have to ask, you know, you've been with me since December 13th of 2013. Why did it take you so long? He said, oh, man, I forgot all about that until I got laid off. First week of January, I got laid off from the company I've been with for 18 years. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done with that shit. They gave me a severance package. They gave me, you know, my holiday pay and all that. I just took some of that money and went all in because I'm doing this full time from now on. I'm not dealing with another corporate in corporate America. The moral of that story is this. What you do today in your business, you have no idea the money it's going to generate you in the future. It could be next week, tomorrow, 6 months from now, or a year from now. Something you do today could make you $3,000 a year from now, just like it did me. It was a year and almost a year and a month. And my very first video, I made $3,000 off my very first shitty video, and it was crappy too. But he opted in. Now he went all in. So just remember that. Just because you're not getting results today, what you do today could get you results in the future.
Man, that's powerful.
Pat, thank you so much, man.
You know what that means? Let me say this. What he just said, thank you very much. That's David's way of saying shut the
No, man, honestly, I'm sure we can hear you for hours, but that was amazing. I know you got to go and fetch your wife soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hell, I forgot about her.
That's how dedicated you are.
No, that's my baby. She's my best friend, and I'm blessed with that too. I mean, I am married to my best friend. She is my whole world. And she stood by me. She went out and got a job and worked her ass off while I was recuperating from surgeries and building this business. And not once did she ever say this is a scam or you can't do it. She was behind me. And that's another thing. My son, I'm living in his trailer. He'd come back there and push the curtain back because I didn't have a door. We hung a curtain up where a door was supposed to be to separate the bedroom from the hallway. And he'd say, hey, Dad, how's that scam thing coming for you? Now, guess what? Who's he calling for money all the time? Yeah.
He's forgot that conversation.
Don't let somebody that's not successful, that don't know what the hell they're talking about, tell you that you can't do this. I'm a dumbass ex-police officer out of Georgia. If I can do it, that says a lot for everybody else. There's hope for everybody.
Everybody, man. Jeez. All right, man.
I was on a freaking roll.
Yeah, you were on a roll, man. But Pat, honestly, this is some of the best I've ever had. Honestly.
This is right here.
Yeah. This is inner circle material.
He basically gave you the inner circle for free right now.
Yeah, right now.
Absolutely. And Stephen, man, congrats to you. I see you on that leaderboard. Man, that right there does so much. I remember the first time I saw myself on the leaderboard, you'd have thought I won the freaking lottery. Because I was just so freaking, I couldn't sleep. Just because my name was like I think I was 10th place on in a month, and I could not sleep. I was so excited.
Now you're stuck to the leaderboard like glue.
Well, no shit. I would get out of bed and come back in here and make sure it was still my name was still there. Log into my Empower Network and check the leaderboard at 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure they didn't remove my name.
Pat, we got a question here in the group. They want to know who did you get to design your capture page?
I did that.
You did that?
I designed it. Yeah.
That's
from Weebly, but no. Let me show you. Let me show you a really good capture page. I use that. I didn't want to be real fancy with Craigslist. I just wanted to kind of be generic, something simple. People looking for jobs. This is like what I use when I use YouTube PPC or my Bing ads. I paid a guy $249. His name's Benny. He's on Facebook, and I can give you anybody his information if they want it. But for $249, he set this up on WordPress, linked my Get Response campaign to it. I mean, it's just great, and I can change the background picture with anything. I could search for pictures for Walt Disney World with the plug-in, and it'll bring up pictures of Walt Disney World, and I can make that my background. You know, but
Nice.
but the one from Craigslist, that's Weebly.com. It's free, and that's where I started, and that's still where I drive traffic from Craigslist, because if you remember my ad in Craigslist, it looks like a job application. I didn't want to be big and fancy with it. I wanted to be as plain as possible. Hey, my Craigslist friend, call your boss and tell him you quit, because after today you're going to be your own boss. I just wanted something short and sweet and simple, and didn't without all the flashy lights and beautiful pictures.
Yeah,
And that's what works for me. I tried the flashy. It didn't work. My opt-ins went down in Craigslist. So I went back to plain.
Yeah, they say that the uglier your capture page, the better it works.
Yep, and that's living proof.
Yeah.
Especially on Craigslist, because that's one ugly website.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's an ugly website. So you don't want them to go from Craigslist to the Las Vegas Strip with a bunch of flashy lights.
Yeah.
I just want to be plain, short, and sweet and simple. Of course, I'm already short, and I'm surely sweet. So.
Surely.
Did you call me Shirley? My name's
Shirley.
I got one guy calling me a genie ass, and the other one calling me Shirley. Wow, see how I'm treated, guys? I got witnesses.
Yeah. Right. Pat, we're going to say goodbye now to everybody.
Absolutely, man. I got to go get my wife. Guys, I hope I helped you. I hope you got some value from this, because the stuff I'm telling you came from blood, sweat, and tears. Literally tears. And yeah, I'm a man, but there's several nights, man, I sat there and I cried, because I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to turn with this thing. It's not working. And I've been there. There's no situation you can be in that I haven't been there. So yeah. I'm telling you, it's a struggle if you make it a struggle. And the way you do that is to treat it like an employee mindset. You're the employee, and you're fighting your business. Be a business owner and work your business. Don't fight it. So I hope if I help one person, I've kept my promise to God. So, and I'll continue to do that. So, and Dave, man, you're an inspiration to me. You've kept me going a couple of days where, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and bitch that this thing ain't working. I always use you for a reference. Look at Dave. I mean, look at his internet speed. He's way out there in South Africa. His lights get shut off 2-3 hours a day, and he's not bitching about it. Why am I crybabying? So thank you for that. You keep me motivated when I should be like, God, why isn't this thing loading right? What the hell am I doing wrong? So.
Oh, man, what was it yesterday? I only uploaded 20 videos, hour and a half. Oh, boo-hoo.
Oh, one other thing. Does everybody see how I'm dressed? Yeah. That's something else. And I said this on stage. I didn't dress up for this event. This is how I dress to come to work in my office. And the reason I do that is because I tried in the sweats and the T-shirt, and it's like a Sunday morning. It's like, I'm like, God, I don't feel like working. I feel like every day I dress in sweats and a T-shirt, it's Sunday, and I'm just lazy. But I found if I jump in the shower and I do my hair and actually brush my teeth, and I take a shower even though it's not Saturday, and I get dressed up like I'm going to my office or to work, I feel professional. I act professional, and I work professional. That's why I'm dressed like this. I've been dressed like this all day. So that's just a little tidbit for you. If you're having trouble getting motivated during the day, then get dressed. Act like you're going to an office. Put a dress shirt on. Do your hair. Shave.
Was that a slap at me?
Unintended to Dave on the shave part.
Well, every time Pat sees me, he says, you didn't have to shave on my account. Good.
I know, but every time I see Dave, guys, he looks like he stands like 2 inches away from his razor. So,
Oh, man.
And Dave, this is your world, man. We're just living in it.
Yeah, I know. All right, man.
All right, guys. I hope I helped somebody. You guys have I had a great time. And I know I talked too much like always, but
no, that was great.
A great evening. Hey, and Stephen, it was a pleasure meeting you, man. And congratulations.
Yeah, man, awesome. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. Bye. See you next week.